what do you think inspires you most in terms of sitting down and writing a track and lyrics as well? What is it that really gets you going with that?
The world we live in. Hold on. Yeah, the world we live in really inspires me, like conversations with people. I have this book, all these books and stuff that I carry around with me that are just always full of ideas and fragments of conversations that I have with people, and I've got pages and pages of musical ideas and lyrical ideas, and I find the world is really amazing, and I find that the struggles that everybody is going through are really interesting. What's really interesting as well is that we all seem to be going through very similar struggles: relationship, money, health, the future. You know, when we write lyrics and when we write music, the lyrics are not, this is how I feel about something. They're more a great big mash of an idea, or the idea surrounding going to a job that you hate. Put all of the thoughts about getting on the train and having your coffee every morning and going and putting up with your manager who's a dickhead, and listening to the banal conversation around you about what was on television last night, or the latest funny baby that gets dropped on its head on YouTube, or whatever. Really banal, boring fucking shit that your trivial workmates seem to want to talk about all the time. That frustration and you know, that's when you're so frustrated you're numb. It's the only way you can deal with it is by turning yourself off. That's the sort of thing that I find lyrically really interesting. Also relationships and dealing with people and the frustration of the scene and all of these things. You know, it's not just a really clear, defined message. It's this, you know, fractured splinter of idea. I don't really feel that I have the authority or right to say this is what, you know, this is how it is. I always avoid lyrics like that. I like to say that I want to draw the picture and make people understand that they're not the only people going through whatever it is they're going through at the time. You know, we are all in this together. That's a theme in our music all the time. And the only way to get out of it is to be creative. Think creatively. Do your music, do your art, whatever it is that you do, you have to do it. Yeah. It didn't answer your question.
In a sense, your messages are like portrayed. They're sort of like poetry in a sense, that since they are to be interpreted.
Yeah, yeah, beat poetry. We're really inspired by Sonic Youth. We got the name Angelspit is from a Sonic Youth song, Orange Roll's Angelspit, and they're a massive, and Skinny Puppy. You know, both those bands use this crazy beat poetry that explain the vibe around a situation as opposed to the situation itself. So they really put you into the, you know, into the moment of the song, and I just love that.
When you're making this kind of music, like you do punk, industrial rock, basically, how important do you think, like, prior education or knowledge of music theory and sound engineering and such plays? How big of a role does that play when you decide to knuckle down and make a track?
I've got a degree in music, don't tell anyone. And that's really handy. Like, if I ever want to do, well, like with our vocoder parts and the pads and the chordal movements of our music is very complex. And I will always utilize my university training when I do that. And I will often, you know, have 7 or 8 part counter harmonies, you know, a la Bach, to write that stuff, just to give it a really big kind of, you know, feeling to it. But another thing is that, you know, there comes a point where you got to say, fuck art, let's dance. You know, fuck education. Education will only get you to a point. After that, instinct gets you to a point. Then education comes into a lot. Then there's just the brutal instinct to keep going. And you can't learn that at a university. You have to learn that through life. Writing a song is like building a house or doing anything artistic or any kind of problem-solving situation, is that really cool, smart ideas can't be taught to you. They just fall from somewhere. Somewhere in your brain goes, well, if this, and if this, and if this, then why can't I do this? You know, that's got a lot to do with it. Education is important, but
it's not everything.
It's not everything. It's there is a lot of it there, but you know, it's really funny. After I went to university, I spent 3 years in uni, and then I spent the first 12 months outside university trying to forget everything that I'd learnt, because I was in such you know, I was so tightly constrained by the you know, by being an analytical composer. So I had to forget all of that. And, you know, I've gone back over it and sort of taken from it what I feel is important. But, you know, with music and art, it's important to feel. You've got to feel, and that's what's really important. Feel.